Thought they got us a couple of times at the rim where we probably need to hold our ground better at the rim or in the paint. But and then Jimmy made big plays at the end of the game. He really made a ton of shots and a ton of plays. And on the other end, we came up a little bit dry, but I thought, I thought for the most part we battled, and it was a heck of a basketball game, and they did a great job. And they've got we've talked about the physicality of their team, and we have to match that with more bodies. And so that impacted us. I thought they did a great job.
How much not having Baines and Smart also down the stretch? How much did that hurt you?
Those guys, Hayward, all those guys would have played obviously in that stretch, but that's part of it. Now I'm disappointed in Marcus. That we need you. Like Baines is already out. We need him to be in the game, and so no matter what happened, we need that to happen. But otherwise, I thought the guys that came in did a good job. And I thought Shemi really gave us something. I probably should have put him in at the end of the game and let him play a little bit more. That's a tough spot to be in after not playing much recently.
He knows. He took responsibility for it. He knows how much of a big piece he is for us, and when we need him out there in terms of his smarts and being out there, being aggressive on the defensive end, and as well as Baines going down, battling with Joel. That was big parts of the game, and but we don't want to make any excuses. Those things can't happen in terms of Smarty getting ejected, especially when we're in an environment like this. And we talked about it, and we squashed it, and now we move on.
You heard Brad Stevens right there specifically reference Marcus Smart and say, "I'm disappointed. We need you." And Kyrie Irving right there saying, we talked to Marcus. He acknowledged the mistake that he made, but it's rare to hear a coach specifically call out a player like that.
Well, I'm not sure he called him out. He didn't say, like, that was a stupid play on Marcus's part. He did it gently. He said, "We need you, Marcus." So it's a positive way of saying that was a stupid play on your part.
That's all semantics, right?
And that, he tried to handle it as he would handle most of those situations. Smart has to realize that it's too valuable. Just think back to when Golden State lost Draymond Green against Cleveland in the World Championship, and Golden State's winning 3-1. And Green doesn't play in the next game, Draymond, and all of a sudden Cleveland got a breath, and they wound up winning a championship. Players have to understand that.
You have to keep your cool, especially when Baines is out right there. Marcus Smart's too big. It's going to be – what happened in that game is Boston was controlling everything, but just like the coaches just talked about, once it became more physical and Embiid started attacking the basket, the rest of the guys did. Now Jimmy Butler got into the act in the fourth quarter as well. The whole atmosphere of that game changed once they did that.
Now, listening to Embiid after losing the first 3 games to Boston this year, you could hear the disappointment and frustration. We have to break through against this team at some point. So what a relieving victory for Embiid. And 37 and 22, Coach.
I think to understand that this is a different Philadelphia team than played Boston in the beginning of the season. There's new pieces, there's new parts. When you look at the bench productivity, Philly only got 8 points from their bench. That's not going to be enough come playoff time. They need, when everybody is healthy, the guys on the second unit have to be ready to step up. Boston got 37 points from their guys coming in off the bench.
And Rozier was fantastic. No Marcus Smart, no Hayward. Baines gets injured. So Boston will be fine. They got to keep their heads. Marcus Smart kind of change the tempo there. But give Embiid credit there defensively at the end, making plays, and then Jimmy Butler knocking down the big shot.
Vinny, you were a shot maker right there.
That's not a hard
You're liking
shot.
that from Butler?
Yeah, he almost was losing the basketball, but that's an easy shot. You get your shoulders square, you let it go, you stay in the shot. You see how he stayed in the shot and came down. So his balance was good. You're going to knock that down.